Okay, so I promised I would tell another paranormal story, and so this one's about a store that I worked in Pittsburgh. When I first started in my cosmetics um, world, it was kind of a part-time job, and it really wasn't a full-time job. So I started to work for my friend Debbie in her store, and she worked in a uniform store. She managed a uniform store in the Oakland part of Pittsburgh, which was kind of like the university area. And it was kind of below a Wendy's. So the Wendy's kind of sat up on the main high street, and there was a side alley that kind of went down, and halfway down the street was a door, and you went down like 3 steps or 4 steps or whatever down to the flat landing. And there was a door to the right which went into an empty store that wasn't being leased out, and if you went straight ahead you came into the Life uniform store. Well, when I first started there, Debbie told me, well, we use the other room for storage. It's kind of creepy in there because there's no electricity, so you only get light from our hallway or from the back hallway that connected the two stores in the back where the bathrooms were. And she mentioned there were some like creepy things that had been going on. So the first thing I noticed was I was sitting in her office, which was at the end of one side of the store, and there was a triangular shoe mirror. It was kind of like that, and it sat on the floor right outside of the office door, so you could see people if someone came in the store. And there was a little ding sound when someone crossed the threshold of the door that let you know that someone came in. Well, sometimes you wouldn't hear that, and yet you'd see feet going past the mirror, and you'd walk out there and there'd be nobody out there, or you'd be in the office doing whatever, and you'd hear clothing moving across the racks as if somebody was looking at clothes, and you'd be like, wow, I didn't even know that person was in the store, and you'd come out, and again, there'd be nobody there. Another time we went into the storefront side, or the empty storefront next door, and both Debbie and I could see all the way at the other end of the store movement, almost like people walking around, but you could kind of see through it. It was really, really creepy. And I don't know if it was from like fear or if it was from excitement or both, but like Debbie started crying, and she was like, just couldn't believe it. Well, one morning I had to come in and open the store, and I came in and started vacuuming, and all of a sudden I looked over, and standing in the middle of a rounder of clothing was this African American woman who was probably like in her 60s or 70s, and you could only see her from like the chest up because she was standing in the middle of that rounder. And it was like literally like maybe 3 seconds, and then she was gone. And I think I scared her as much as she scared me, because she looked shocked to see me, and I was certainly shocked to see her because it was just weird. Another incident happened when I was closing one night, and lights started randomly flickering on and off. And I couldn't figure out how it's happening because there were 3 light switches in the office, and they each controlled one row of lights that went down the whole way of the store. So if you turn off one switch, then yeah, there would be like one bank of lights that would go off, but these were just like randomly different lights were flickering on and off. I was trying to make a phone call out to my mom, and it was like crackling, and I couldn't get through. I could get a dial tone, but I couldn't get anything else, and it would just snap and disconnect me every time I tried to dial. I couldn't get the register to upload to the server to close the register, so I just shut everything down and I left, and I quit right after that because I went on full time with the other job I was doing, and it was too creepy for me. So that's one of my stories, and I might add a few more, but that's what I thought I'd share for now. Thanks.